Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Jay Fong here, and today I wanted to do a more sit down type of video. And I know you guys know that I love handbags and I love all of the handbags that I have, but as I'm looking through my collection and as I'm looking through my wish list, and I don't know if you guys do this, but I make lists of like handbags that I want on my phone, just so every now and then I can look back at my collection, look back at things I want, and then I look at the things that are coming out or the current collection or what's hot, just to keep myself in check, so that because I don't have an endless amount of money to buy every single bag that I want, especially the trendy ones, I have this just running list of bags that I eventually want in my collection. And obviously things change, whether it's circumstance or whether it's just things are happening. The list definitely changes a little bit, but I want to share with you guys the top 5 ultimate handbags that I want in my collection. Okay, so looking through this list, as much as I want to say I just want Birkins and Kellys, it's probably not feasible, and I'm just not someone that is willing to play the Hermes game. If you guys have never heard of the Hermes game, definitely go online, search up how I got my Hermes, and you will see hundreds of videos of people just talking about their Hermes journey. Whether it's scoring a Hermes bag with an essay or they're traveling and they got offered a bag. It's just ridiculous, the type of things that you have to go through to just get a Birkin and Kelly. And as much as I love a Birkin and Kelly, and as much as I think, that's my ultimate dream bag, definitely a bag that I want to have in my collection, I just can't imagine having to buy into that game where you have to spend an exorbitant amount of money, because you already need to spend an exorbitant amount of money to get the bag. And then you have to spend an exorbitant amount of money before that with the sales associate to, gain their trust and and whatnot. And then having to spend, another $8,000 or $10,000 just to buy this bag. So I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I can't even really imagine a near future where I'm even going to be able to do an unboxing, because it's insanely hard to get a bag in the actual store itself, and then it's also insanely hard to get a bag in the pre-love market, and then the prices in the pre-love market, it's just getting crazy. So we will see. I think it's just one of those things that if it happens, it happens, and I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm going to put it out into the universe that yes, I want an Hermes, Birkin, or Kelly. I'm going to tell you which ones I want, because it's definitely in my top 5, but if I see it, if the universe wills it, then I'll get it. So, okay. I'll mention the one that is probably if I could only ever have one Hermes bag, it would definitely be a Hermes Kelly. It would definitely be a Kelly 28 in the Cellier leather and in the box leather, which is the smooth box leather. And yeah, I think that's the specific combo that I would love to get. I would love to get it in gold hardware. But, knowing how hard it is, I don't know. It's just, it will happen when it happens, if it happens. Right time, right place, I guess. Okay, so aside from Hermes, let's look at the other bags that are in my wish list right now that I think are definitely more attainable, and I definitely want to add it in my collection in the near future. So the first one is a Chanel Gabrielle Hobo bag. I've had like ups and downs with this bag. When it first came out, I was totally against it. When it first came out, I thought, ooh, not my style, definitely not Chanel. I don't know, I just wasn't in love with it. And then it was the social media effect of seeing it over and over and over again made me fall in love with it. And the one print that made me just truly fall in love with that bag, it's the tweed fabric, so tweed is just notoriously difficult to tend to and to take care of, but it's just such a beautiful, such a classic Chanel spin to everything. So I don't think I'm gonna actually get a tweed in the Gabrielle because I feel like it's definitely more of a casual style. It's like a catch-all, and I really like the medium size, so the one that's like right between a large and a small. I feel like it would be a great travel bag, it would be a great work bag, it would be a great just catch-all type of bags. I have seen it run anywhere from mid 2000s to like high 3000s in the pre-love market, and so that's probably the route that I'm gonna go with. I can do a whole separate video on just buying pre-loved. As much as I love the boutique experience, going into a boutique and just buying brand new with just seeing all the bags and trying all the bags, there are certain brands and there are certain bags that just is a much better deal when you buy pre-love. Chanel Gabrielle is one of them, where it's still Chanel, but I think in the pre-love market, it definitely is a buyer's market in that sense. So I've definitely seen it run for maybe like about half the price as a new inbox at the boutique. So Chanel Gabrielle, I am coming for you eventually. As soon as the right one comes on the market and I see the one that I want, I definitely want to add that to my collection. Okay, the next bag, as much as I don't want to mention an Hermes, I feel like I just have to. I feel like I have to. I know I mentioned the Kelly, and that's like, if I could just have one Hermes bag, it would be the Kelly, but I feel like I have to mention the Birkin. I don't know, I just feel like I have to mention the Birkin because it is just such a sought after bag. I don't mind it in either the size 25 or the 30. Granted, I haven't tried on either sizes, so I think ultimately I want the 30, but I think if I can get it in the 30 in the gold on gold combination, that would just be, I think that's the most gorgeous combination you can get in a Birkin. It is the 30 on gold hardware on the gold. But I also love the collar a taupe. Gold on gold 30 Birkin. Yep, I'm going with that. Okay, the next bag that I wanted to mention is the Chanel Boy. When the Chanel Boy first came out, I actually thought that my first ever Chanel bag was going to be a Chanel Boy. For some reason, a few years ago, when I really got into luxury and when I really got into luxury bags, I just wasn't a huge fan of the Chanel classic flaps. Now, everybody says if you're gonna start with a collection, if it's your, if you only have 5 bags that you can choose from, you have to buy a Chanel flap. I don't think that's necessarily true. Like, buy the bag that fits your style, buy the bag that you love. Ultimately, if you're gonna spend the money and if you're gonna be the one using it, don't fall into the trap of, here's my top 5 bags that you have to buy, or here's the top 5 bags that I recommend, here's the top 10 bags that you have to own. Don't fall into those. Don't fall into this video either, because at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your bag, it's your style. So as much as people were talking about classic flaps and you have to own a classic flap in your life, a couple years ago that just wasn't my style, and I still don't think it's my style per se, but I have for sure learned to love that style. I don't know, there's just something about a classic flap that, after so many years of being into luxury and luxury bags, that bag just never gets old. But the Boy bag, when it first came out, just was such a refreshing take on a classic flap. It is edgier, it's still very classic. You can still take it to morning to night. It is still a functional bag, and there's something about it that made it an instant classic, but just really rivals the classic flap. And it's kind of like the edgier sister to the classic flap, where the older sister kind of like has everything together and she's like has her life together, and then the boy comes along and she's like, yeah, like I still have my life together, but I'm cool and I'm different. I don't know, was that a terrible analogy? Anyway, I really like the boy bag. I actually really thought that that was going to be the first Chanel bag that I was going to get. I absolutely love the silhouette. I love how it looked. And I don't know, over the years, I still really like the look of the Chanel boy. And I think eventually I do want to add it to my collection. I'm just waiting for the perfect color. And I think I have found the perfect combination. I've actually seen this on Instagram. I have not seen it in person, but it is the beige, I believe it's called the beige Claire in the Chevron boy. Oh my gosh, it is like the perfect combination of edgy and feminine and chic and classic and just slightly different. I don't know, that bag is so gorgeous, and I'm sure it's so hard to come by. Anytime there's this almost like instant classic color combinations, it's just insanely difficult to get. In the resale market, it's going for a crazy price. You probably also never see it come across in the pre-sale market because as soon as it comes along, somebody else snatches it. It's just this crazy thing. But if I know anything about Chanel or any of these luxury brands, is that that color will come back. That exact same combination will probably come back. It'll probably come back after like 4 or 5 price increases later, but it will come back. And once it does, who knows, maybe I'll snatch it up. It definitely is one of those bags that's like on my wish list, but it's a very, very specific combination. And that's the other thing that I find is that as much as I can make compromises, like maybe this color is not the exact color I want, or maybe this hardware is not the exact hardware that I want, but it's close enough so I'm gonna get it. That just never actually satisfies that checklist or that wish list. So just wait for the one that you truly want, because if it's the one that you truly want, then you know you're not gonna stray, or you're not gonna dislike it. So yeah, just wait for the one that you truly want, because if you don't, then ultimately you're gonna want to get to the one that you actually want anyway. So I think it's worth the wait. So we're at 3 bags. So now we're on the 4th. I love the Hermes Birkin and Kelly, but I also really love the Hermes Lindy. I think it's the Hermes Lindy 26, or maybe it's 28. But up until like last year, that was the smallest size that Hermes Lindy had, and I thought it just looks like such a auntie bag. There's something I love about it. It's like I can imagine my auntie wearing that bag, and it's very put together. I think it's just a very chic, very low-key kind of bag. But every time I saw it on someone, I was like, ooh, that's a really cute bag. And up until about a year ago, it was the smallest size that they had, until they came up with the mini Lindy, and it is a crossbody version of the Lindy bag, and oh my gosh, it is adorable. From all the videos that I've watched and from everything that I've seen about that bag, it seems like it fits a ton, and now it's sort of on my wish list again. And I don't know, I definitely feel like I have to try it on in person. The mini and the 26 or 28 is never available on the website, and even if it is, it's like one of those things that just like vanishes so quickly. It's like a vanishing act. Like you see it and then you don't. Like you see it, you put it in your cart, and then it's immediately gone. And I haven't actually seen it in person either. So maybe one day, again, it's one of those things, like if I come across it, I definitely want to try it on. But it's so cute. And I still feel like I would probably ultimately end up with a 26. Though I'm not opposed to the mini Lindy. I've just been so in love with mini bags lately. I just feel like I'm adding a lot of mini bags to my life right now. Okay, so the last one was really hard because I have to really differentiate like top 5 ultimate dream bags that I want to add to my collection, and then just top 5 bags that I currently have on my radar that I want to add to my collection soon. That doesn't even make sense, right? But maybe in another video, I'm going to share with you guys just bags that I'm eyeing, that I'm trying to talk myself out of not getting, because, you know, I should ultimately work towards this like top 5 dream list, but there's just these other few bags that I'm looking at where I'm like, oh, I just want to get it right now because it just seems so much more functional right now. Well, anyway, maybe I'll do a whole separate video on that. But this last bag, oh, it kind of hurts me to say because now I have to like break a tie, and even in my head I'm like, which one is it gonna be? But I think I know. Okay, I think I know. Do I know?
I don't. Okay. I think I'm gonna break the tie. All right, I'll let you guys know which one I am in between, and then I don't know, and then maybe I'll tell you guys which one. Okay, this is actually really hard because I was going down the list and I was like, okay, I have 5, but there's just like a tiebreaker. Oh, this is so okay. I'm gonna tell you guys which 2 bags it is, and then I'm gonna break the tie.
Okay, so I have the Celine box bag in black, and I really want one in brown, or it's like the tan caramel color. It's just so gorgeous, especially because Anne Hathaway totally rocked that bag in The Intern. It just makes me want it just 10 times more. And I love my box bag, and I feel like I would love just the exact same bag just in a different color. I don't know, it's just a bag that I've had on my wish list for a really long time, but it just kind of seems silly because I bought that bag not too long ago and I want the exact same one in a different color. Does it even make sense to have multiple colors? Actually, yes it does. Why not? Why not? Okay. But the other bag that I have been recently just like so in love with is actually a Chanel medium in a caramel color. So you can kind of tell that there's a trend here with the tan and caramel color, but I don't know, there's just something about the tans that I've been really gravitating towards recently. And Chanel, about maybe it was last season, is it last season or is it this season, that came out with the brown color, that like caramel brown color that just sold out instantly. It is definitely one of those colors that it's so dreamy, looks beautiful in everything that they come out with. Chanel just does these things so well. But I lost out in it because I purchased another bag, and I haven't done an unboxing yet because I'm waiting for close to my birthday. I'm holding on until close to my birthday to unbox it with you guys. I've obviously seen it in person already, but I've boxed everything up, I put it away, and I'm waiting until as close to my birthday as possible to unbox it with you guys. So I sort of lost out on that. I don't fully feel like I need another tan color bag, especially in a bag that is not super functional right now. Like, I just can't see myself needing a second box bag or a second classic flap or anything like that. So I am holding out, but it is on my wish list. And you see how hard that could have been to break the tie because they're both just such gorgeous bags. I think ultimately I have to say the Chanel. I have to say the Chanel. Just because it's one of those that like, Celine is a lot easier to get because it is a classic combination and you can get it most of the time when you go into the store. With the classic flap though, it just, like, those colors are seasonal, so you never know when it's gonna come back. You never know what color they're gonna bring back next season. Chanel will keep you on your toes forever until it actually comes around, or I don't know, you missed out on it and you have to go to the pre-love market and then they sell it for an insane amount. So yeah. So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. Let me know what your ultimate top 5 wish list is. If you guys are interested in videos like these, maybe in a separate video I'll talk about the top bags that I'm interested in this upcoming season, or just the top bags that I'm thinking of purchasing in the near future. And yeah, I think that's everything. So if you guys like videos like these, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!